Hey, everybody. Welcome to Vet with Vendettas by one of your hosts, is Lee Wiggins, and to my right is Charles Diggs. On our satellite from the middle of nowhere, we got Ben Cornish. How are we all doing today?
We're good, man.
Ben, how are you?
Living the dream.
All right. So we're just this is episode 1, people. We're just gonna get into a little bit of introduction. My name is Lee Wiggins, as I said before. I am originally from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, born and raised. Thank you, Eagles fan. I spent 5 years in the military, the Navy. Thank you. I'm currently going to school for marketing. I'm going for my master's degree. I should be done in 2022. That's pretty much. You know it. Diggs, let's get in a little about you. What about you?
So I'm Diggs, Charles Diggs. Everybody calls me Diggs or Diggy. I was actually born in Kentucky, Army brat. And actually, like, it's super weird because I never thought that I would end up joining the service because my dad was in. Actually, a lot of people in my family were, but it actually just turned out, it just happened that way. So I ended up joining and that's basically it. Currently a nursing student, which is kind of weird, but whatever. Get to hang around hot chicks all day and make people feel better.
Very nice.
And on to you, Benji.
Oh, hey, I'm Ben Cornish. I live in upstate New York, 35, Leo, like long walks on the beach.
Who did?
I served 8 years in the U.S. Army, airborne air assault, did a few tours. I was actually stationed with Diggs in North Carolina.
Yep.
Very nice.
And my dad was in, my brother was in, my grandfather. My dad actually was able to pin my airborne wings on me because he was a jump master.
Very cool.
So yeah, that was a good experience.
I'll bet.
Definitely.
I got out 2011. Stumbled a little bit, but now I'm actually a licensed cosmetologist. I make people beautiful. So.
And he is our show artist. You guys are going to see some of the stuff that he's going to put out. I'm going to be posting it, but he's going to be the man behind the work. We're going to get t-shirts made. We're going to get a nice website going eventually. All that is due to this guy. So if you say that's an awesome shirt, that's the product of him and his brain.
Yeah. I guess I forgot my military experience. I was 8 years Army, airborne, which was totally stupid. I should have never went airborne. In hindsight now, I'm like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, I was airborne.
Well, you get to jump out of planes. That must have been fun for at least a couple times.
You know what's crazy is I go airborne to jump out of planes, and I'd never even been in a plane before. Never once.
Telling you, I've jumped out of more planes than I've landed in.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
Yeah. The first time I actually landed in a plane was on my way to Iraq on my first tour.
Oh, wow.
I'd been in a plane.
What's this landing shit?
Yeah. First 5 times in a plane, I jumped out of it each time. And then I'm like, oh, I'm going to Iraq. And then we had to make a little pit stop in Maine. And I'm like, oh, this is what it's like to land. It's weird.
So Ben just said that you two served each other. Just tell our folks at home and whoever's listening that how you guys met first, how long you spent, your duty station together, how you met.
Okay, Take it away, man.
Whoever Diggs, go.
Yeah. So believe it or not, I was a cook in the Army, and the reason I was a cook was because before I joined the military, I worked at a conference center with a bunch of some of the best chefs in the world. Graduates of Le Cordon Bleu. We had graduates from CIA. We had graduates from I can't think of the third one, but another top school for like pastries and stuff like that. And so I was like, you know what? When I joined the military, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to stick to what I know, which is cooking. And then, of course, the recruiter blows smoke up your ass like, hey, well, you could be, cooking on Air Force One or cooking for some general. And I'm like, oh, well, shit, that's cool. Because I'm like, you put me against an Army cook and I'll smoke them. And, that never panned out. I actually initially joined up, like I said, to go to Alaska. I was just like, I've never been to Alaska. At that point, I hadn't even been out of like 4 or 5 states. Whatever. I'm just rambling now. But what ended up happening was in AIT, which is like basically where you learn your job for the Army. My buddy, who's an asshole, was like, hey, we should go airborne because some airborne guys came from Fort Bragg and showed us like this really, awesome video, like crazy camoed up fucking killers jumping out of airplanes. And I was like,
they sold you, huh?
Yeah. And I mean, they didn't sell me. I was just like, all right, that's cool. You're gay, whatever. And, and so, yeah, well, anyway, they talked me into it. So we all ended up going airborne or whatever. And then that landed me at Bragg. And so at Bragg, we were part of 4th Brigade.
It was 504th Infantry.
Yeah.
I was oh man, geez, was 2nd or 3rd Battalion.
Yeah, no, you had to be 2nd because I was 3rd. So
Okay, yeah.
So it was basically like a big dining facility with all 3 battalions and the HHC element.
Okay.
What were you gonna?
No, I was just going to ask a question because I'm a Navy guy.
Yeah.
You guys say 2nd, 3rd Battalion. For the people at home that don't know, me,
Yeah.
what does that mean? Does that mean like you're the 2nd's better than the 3rd? Like, we're number 2, 3 sucks.
No, not exactly.
It's
like,
basically you have the brigade, then you have the battalion, then you have the companies. It's just a breakdown
okay.
of
yeah.
I thought it was like
the
a
unit.
SEAL Team 6 type of thing.
No,
Like SEAL Team 6 is supposed to be the best.
Yeah,
you
so-
only SEAL Team 2 because they're just a bunch of scrubs.
No. So because the brigade is so big, they had to break it down into battalions.
I see.
And so you had 1st, 2nd, and 3rd battalion cooks plus HHC cooks
HHC.
all in the same dining facility, and we cooked for like 1,000 people a day. It was
Dude.
ridiculous.
Literally
So-
an army.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it was.
So and not only did we cook for soldiers, but like civilians would come to our dining
Or
facility.
the people that
and
worked
stuff.
on base.
Yeah.
Dude, we had a great dining facility.
Yeah, it was huge.
Everybody came there.
Yeah,
Nice,
it
nice.
was nice. It was definitely probably the nicest one on post. I don't think there was anyone better than that. Maybe I'm biased. Anyway, I met Cornish there because he's an idiot like me. Like when you're naturally like funny and you just do stupid retarded stuff, like it
Y'all have done
doesn't.
that.
Yeah, it doesn't take long before you meet somebody else who's equally retarded. And
Pretty
so
much.
me and Ben just clicked. And
He was also there before me. Like I came in. I don't know how long you were there for, but it was definitely before me.
yeah, I got there late 2003, so like October-ish 2003.
Okay.
I was like mid 2004.
Yeah, right when we came back from our first tour is when I met Cornish, and we were just great friends. We were just retarded.
And how long were you guys stationed at the same duty station?
I'm not sure because I think Ben went to Leavenworth or something.
Yeah, I got hurt on a jump, and I wound up needing surgery on my ankle. So they told me I had to stop airborne status. I was like, man, I was coming up on re-enlistment anyway, so I re-enlisted when I was in Afghanistan to go to Fort Leavenworth because I'm like, oh man, yeah, I'll go cook at the prison. That's cool.
Right.
You
Yeah, no, man. I mean,
you
Yeah.
twist your
fucking,
you
like,
twist your ankle on a biscuit or something, or
With a spatula.
well, no, man, because when you land, it's called a parachute landfall, but
oh, it wasn't in the
no,
kitchen. It was on. Okay, it
Yeah,
was on a
yeah,
drop.
it was on a
no, it was on a jump. Yeah,
Just making sure.
but you hit your feet, your ass, your head, man.
yeah,
I mean,
basically.
it was rough.
They try and make it
Sounds
sound
like some
pretty,
really
but-
dirty sex going on over there.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And yeah, so yeah, that's how we met. I mean, we had great memories from post, and then like he went to Leavenworth, and we talked here and there, and then like he just like fell off the face of the earth for like 10 years, and now he's back. So like
Well, after Leavenworth, I was at Leavenworth for like 2.5 years. I actually had the chance to 5th Special Forces Group was actually starting a dining facility, one of their first down
Wow.
in Fort Campbell, Kentucky. My older brother Jared was already a medic down there with them and actually gave them my name, and I was able to go down there. I reinstated my airborne status, and I actually wound up going to air assault school with my brother.
oh, that's
And
awesome, man.
I tell you
That's
what,
cool.
Diggs, you think airborne was stupid?
Uh-huh.
Nah, man. Dude, these guys had little man syndrome all day.
Oh,
like,
my
they
God.
purposefully made it tougher because they know that they're shit. No.
Right.
Well, I already told you a story, Ben, but I'm going to tell the folks at home how I met Diggs. I got out of the military late 2011, beginning of 2012. I think Lincoln Tech. That's when
That's
we
crazy.
started.
We all got out of the military in
Yeah, around the
2011.
same time. Diggs and I joined the same class. It was like a year-long program for auto technician, not
Mhm.
mechanic.
Yep. Get it right.
my first impression was then we kind of spoke briefly before this story here. We were taking a quiz or a test or something. He was sitting behind me, and it was dead silent in the class, and all I hear is really loud, and this is, oh my God, the test is gonna be so hard. I never heard a class erupt in unison
Yeah.
that loud in all my life. It was the funniest thing I've heard in a long time. And I'm sure with a lot of crazy people, man.
Yeah, and that's what, that's me though, man. Like people say grow up. I'm like, dude, I haven't grown up by now. It ain't gonna happen.
What's that old saying? It's the age is just a number as old as you feel, or something like that. I can't remember.
I'm just like, dude, you treat life too serious and you stress
Yeah, man, life's
out.
too short, man. To be
Yeah.
fucking serious.
I
all the
watched a
time.
documentary once called "Stress the Silent Killer." It was eye-opening.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
It was
man.
very eye-opening. I think, just a quick example of this. I don't want to make this part of the show or whatever, but the greatest example was in like the first 5 minutes. It was like he's talking about a gazelle, and he's like, a gazelle eating on the plains of Africa isn't stressed at all. It's just eating, and it's doing its natural instinct or whatever. Now, boom, cheetah fucking runs out. Bam! Like now the stress hits the body. The reproductive system shuts
you got
down.
the adrenaline going.
The gastrointestinal system shuts down because the body's in fight or flight, and it is choosing, flight. And, it was going through the whole physiological changes of the gazelle. And then at the end, the gazelle gets away, and it's like instantly the gazelle goes back to zero stress. But in retrospect, humans get into an almost accident or something, and we're just like, oh my! A week later, we could have died, and it's like it's so unnecessary. So
folks, this is one thing you're going to like about this show is we're going to talk about everything you can possibly think of.
Yeah,
we're not going to just base it on one thing. Probably for the next few months until after your election, I wouldn't say it's going to be election heavy, but it's on our minds. It's a big issue, and that's what everyone's really talking about. So just be prepared for that. But we're going to try to make it fun as we can and informative as well. God, Ben, sorry, you're going to say something?
Back to the whole, just back to the whole stress thing, man, dude. I used to be an angry person,
for sure.
I don't know.
The military will do that to you.
I did, man. And it took me a while to basically realize that humans dwell.
Yes.
And they can keep it going for as long as they need it to go.
Yeah.
But it's not necessary.
No, not at all. And so
I don't know.
It was just very eye-opening to me that not only is stress, bad for you mentally, but there are tests now that it physically causes damage to your body with the hormones that it releases and stuff. And I'm like, so I had to,
Yeah, I haven't done any research on about it, but videos I've watched of doctors, they're stating that a lot of people are committing suicide because they're overly stressed of losing their homes or business, their kids they're starving. That kind of leads into one of our subjects today is about the crisis that's going on, and we really didn't want to get too heavy into it, every episode, but this is one thing we just got to get off our minds because it has to be said.
It's just going on. It's just going on. It's the elephant in the room.
Yeah, it's not going away until November 4th, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not Cleo or anything like.
It's all gone.
Yeah, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah. It's going to disappear like the murder hornets.
Jeez. The funny thing about that thing was they've been around in this country for quite a while. All of a sudden they're out of nowhere.
Right.
I don't think so.
Right. I remember hearing about them a few years ago.
Yeah, it's nothing new. Just I was reading an article about the squirrel pandemic. Jesus, I have to edit that out. The Black Plague for the squirrels, but apparently it's something that happens every year. They just threw it out there to scare people, like, oh my God, there's going to be a Black Plague because if you remember back in England, the Black Plague was spread by rats.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I think that's what they were trying to do, scare more people, more fear mongering. Yeah. That's just my opinion.
I'm telling you, dude, fear is that's one of the most dangerous friggin' things that they have in their arsenal, man. It's
Absolutely.
just the spreading of the fear.
Yeah, exactly. And this is, again, my opinion. I feel if the news didn't report COVID, whatever you want to call it, you would never know it was even here.
Yeah.
That is my opinion.
What I want to know is why this is so detrimental. 99.6, according to
I think the WHO.
Yeah, right. According to the WHO. What about the flu? The flu has more along the lines of like a 97% recovery rate.
Yeah.
Just from my notes that I have and information I've dug up. Yeah.
The flu.
Well, and then you go back a few years. You got SARS, H1N1, the bird flu, all these. Nothing shut down when that happened.
No.
But now my children can't go back to school and haven't for months.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another subject we'll bring up. One day is like kids going back to school versus homeschooling and the effects of it and all that good stuff. It's something that we could talk about down the road.
But I think the general, I don't know, maybe here in Pennsylvania, it's different. I can't speak for everybody in the United States, but I know here in Pennsylvania, there's a huge movement that's like, all right, the jig is up. Like, we know this is all BS.
Well, just from seeing videos from all over the world, I've seen some marching in England and Belarus, South Korea.
Yep.
I mean, those streets are just filled with people.
I saw a meme. Some dude was calling for Donald Trump after his after the next 4 years to come be the prime minister of the UK.
Yeah, you know what? I follow some Trump pages. It's amazing to see the amount of people that don't even live in the United States that are like, "Sir, you're doing a great job."
Because
It's
people
crazy.
hear, they hear these stories about communism and socialism. Oh, it's the world, kumbaya, everybody's equal and everybody's getting everything equal. It doesn't work that way,
Right.
because the people who are in charge are the ones distributing this, and they are the ones who need. I mean, nothing is for free. Nothing.
Nothing ever is.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah.
But I just think from now, initially, I would say between the three of us, we would all agree that initially I thought, holy shit, like this might be bad,
Oh, absolutely.
And then I would say not even a month into it, I was just like, all right, something's just not making sense about any of this.
On my end, when it first came out, but around late February, March, I'm like, all right, this seems like it wasn't really anything really over here yet. It was so more they're talking about Italy. I was like, sounds like it's going to be overreaction. I just know it. And then after maybe mid-March, I'm like, oh, maybe, because I asked you, I remember I texted you, say, hey, Diggs, what do you think about these? You went, I don't know yet.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how does this guy not have an opinion? He has an opinion about cockroaches and everything under the sun. So I knew something was up. So I was like, well, maybe this shit is serious. I was like, all right. So, and then very similar to you, I think maybe May. I was in May. I was like, this doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel natural. Just something just nagging at me, and I just started digging. And
when you add the fact that, honestly, now dead serious, honest, before this year, I never saw Facebook censor anything I'd ever posted.
Ever.
I'd never seen.
me neither.
I'd never been part of a group where people shared their things that were censored. So I'm just like, when you add all those censors, and when they were talking about, when Breitbart was talking about hydroxychloroquine is the cure, and that, they tried to make that black woman seem like she was a devil worshiping unicorn rider or whatever the fuck they were doing there. I'm just like, even if it is wrong information, how can you fact check it and say that it's harmful information? Like, it's just information. You should be able to do with it what you will.
And you made a good point. We were talking in the car last week. You said, how come they didn't get rid of the
Tide
Pod challenge?
Yeah,
like they can get really sick or maybe die from that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Facebook didn't censor Tide Pod challenge videos, but they're like, but Jesus Christ, like, don't say hydroxychloroquine for
God
cure.
forbid.
I'm just like,
dude,
you gotta have open discussion.
They had videos of the punch game or whatever up on there. People just walking up to random ass people and punching them.
Right?
How is that? I mean, how is that better or more acceptable, than a medical professional giving their opinion?
Right, and that's all it is. And a smart adult would say, hey, this is my opinion. They don't say, hey, this is our fact.
Right.
It's science. Science is not anonymous.
You could go to a neurosurgeon here at Hershey, Pennsylvania, and he would say, I mean, dude, this is what I would do, but I think you should get another opinion. Right. I mean, so that alone shows you that no doctor knows everything. He's just like, dude, that's just out of my comfort zone, Like,
right. That's why they have specialists.
This guy's done 1,000 more surgeries than me. This is his specialty. Like, go see him. So I'm just like, how is the first neurosurgeon wrong? No. If he said something like, I think, you got a 60% chance of surviving this, that's his opinion.
Right.
Right.
I mean, you can't.
There's not scientific fact. It's just his opinion.
Right.
But if you went to 15 doctors and they said the same thing, well, maybe it's true.
Exactly.
Maybe it's true.
I mean, I'll tell you, man,
I guess I do have a small penis.
When it first started, I did what everybody did. I wore the mask. I cleaned all my stuff before it came inside because some dude up here was getting arrested for like coughing on freaking.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I was leaving my shoes outside too.
Right. but then all of a sudden when the numbers didn't add up,
Yes.
you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden they started contributing deaths that had nothing to do with COVID
Absolutely.
to COVID.
Well, what started with me is when the Surgeon General and Fauci, they started flipping what they originally said.
Yes.
That's when I'm like,
Right.
if you don't do that. And his excuse for saying, oh, we should wear masks because I didn't want people to buy masks and be sure. Okay, that makes sense. But why didn't you say in the beginning, well, we don't want you to buy masks so the hospitals don't have them. Why didn't you say, well, just wear a face covering if they work?
Right.
So
Right.
screw everybody else. Let everybody else die, but we'll wait 3 months later.
It's almost as if like they're writing it as they go.
Yeah, it's all.
Pretty much.
And
That's what it seems like.
And to further back like my opinion on that, you cannot deny the narrative of the media has changed drastically. First, it was deaths, and they were showing all the people in these hospital rooms who were frantically running around, trying to save patients, and they were releasing videos of people, loading body bags into
right.
fridges in New
Right.
York, and then so everybody was dying, everybody's dying, and then. To me, in my opinion, it's like the general, population of the United States was like, call bullshit. And so they were like, okay, let's just switch it to cases now. Like, okay, so this state just opened back up and their cases of soaring. And then it was just cases and cases. And then I'm like, okay, so now we're not
Right,
talking
but
about
that's-
deaths anymore.
Right. Oh, I'm so glad.
But again,
Go ahead.
it doesn't seem like they're adding in the recovery rate. It's
No,
only
they don't.
Exactly.
how many people got it. But then on top of that, they started going off of how many staff they had. Like we're 50%. What's that word? Damn
Capacity.
it, I'm having a brain fart.
Capacity,
Capacity,
okay.
right? It's like, yeah, maybe, but you're also at 30% staff.
Exactly.
So it's like, I mean, no.
I made that point. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Wait.
No, I was just going to say you're talking about cases, and I just had a note, and I was looking at the CDC website and broke it down through confirmed cases and probable cases.
Right.
I just wrote down Pennsylvania because there's too many. There's too many. to write
probable
down.
cases.
Right. Exactly. That's what kind of like bothered me. Like, how do they figure in probable? Like Pennsylvania, there's 3,005 as of
You might get it.
yeah, right. As of yesterday, they reported 3,554 probable cases.
What does that even mean?
Exactly. Are they saying, well, from what I've seen videos of just random people, they said they've gotten calls from health departments saying,
Yep.
hey, you were in contact with you were within so many feet,
Yes.
you have it.
Yeah.
And then they counted that as a
they
case
would ask you a
or
list of
probable.
questions, and they ask you a list of questions, and if you answer yes to any of them, they consider you a
Right.
COVID,
Right.
a COVID.
Right.
Right. And if you think this is crap,
Positive.
the information is out there. It's on the CDC website. You go look for
Absolutely.
yourself.
No, what I like is that I look on my phone and I've got a freaking update on there for COVID tracking.
Yeah,
Everybody
seen
does.
that?
I have it
Yeah.
on mine as well.
Dude, that's a load of shit, man.
Yeah,
But I think you have to download
You have to turn
the
it
app.
on.
yeah.
We have to download the app for it to work.
Or do we have to turn
Oh,
it on?
really?
No,
You know what I'm saying? Do we
I
have to
don't
turn it
know.
on? Like,
It's like,
I'll do all freaking born. I'll just throw my battery out and just.
yeah. You take your battery out. It's been
Yeah.
your phone's been sitting on a table for 17 years and it's still tracking your location somehow. You're like, what?
Yeah,
Was there
right.
solar panels in this thing? Like,
right.
All right, so go ahead. You were
no,
gonna say
I
something?
wasn't gonna say anything. I was just saying I love you guys. No,
well,
I don't. I
well,
hate
since
both
we're
of you.
talking about the cases, the total deaths is obviously it's already been stated that their death rate. I'm sorry, the death toll is not 100% accurate.
I don't even put it in the ballpark of 60% accurate.
Even
Oh.
I
I
can't
think
remember.
that's generous.
The woman
Yeah.
that was on the task force on the White House, she even said 25% of the deaths were probably wrong.
Yeah.
So take the 25 of so far now you're up to 146, 553. Okay, now take let's just guess. I don't know, another 25, 30% for deaths that probably didn't have nothing to do with COVID,
Yeah.
like accidents, gunshot.
Yeah.
Whatever.
We know that people were dying in car crashes.
Right.
And because a week before they tested positive for COVID, they got a COVID death on their death
And there was a
certificate.
local, and
Right.
I found this story from you. There was a local boy, I can't remember his age, but he drowned in his pool
Yep.
and they listed him as a COVID death.
Yep.
What?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Right here in Pennsylvania.
Yes, sir.
It was
What
nuts.
the fuck, man? Dude, I mean, come on.
That
I
was
mean, I'm
my
not
reaction.
I'm not laughing because the kid drowned. Like, Jesus Christ.
No,
No,
it's just
but-
it's absurd what they're doing. They're misleading people, and this is why you see old ladies in a park spraying other people that don't wear a mask in the face because they're so scared of dying.
Yeah.
Right.
I can't. I mean, I think it's
It's the
stupid. I think
fear,
they're
man.
stupid. I can't blame them because the media, all they do is fear, 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 fear.
Yeah.
So you can't really blame them that much.
It's like a fear Gatling gun with
fear,
Rambo
what they
at
call
the
it
helm.
fear porn. It's like,
It's like fear, 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 fear,
yeah,
fear.
it's freaking.
While they're playing like
And-
some 80s montage music.
And according to, and I'm going to state the source here, the New York Times, 41% of those deaths are from nursing homes.
Yeah.
And
Don't even get me started about that, man. Up
Yeah.
here,
yeah, Fox
Cuomo's
News
got some answers, man.
Yeah,
He's got some.
Well, that's another thing I'm going to bring up. Fox News reports probably more recent, 44%. So it's very close. So they're both sides of the story, pretty close.
So what's even crazy is and this is not even far from fact. If you were to take every single number of deaths that you turn on CNN right now, they've got it plastered on the fucking screen so you can look at it. I don't know why you'd want to look at it 24 hours a day, the number of people that are dying, but they make sure they have it there so you can look and be like, Jesus Christ, all these people are dying. But if you consider the fact that it's not even off to say that 50% of the deaths throughout the entire country died in nursing homes. I mean, it is very close to 50%. So,
Yeah.
so
I
then you're
wouldn't
like,
doubt it.
okay, so
Right.
now you cut that number in half, and then how many of now? So let's say that let's just throw out a number. Let's say 200,000 people they're saying died. Now cut that number down to 100,000 people who were healthy, were whatever. They weren't older, they weren't in a nursing home. I mean, there's younger people in nursing home. Don't get me wrong, but when you stick a bunch of elderly people together with no escape, no nothing, no morale,
They can't see their loved ones at all.
yeah,
They're
you
not
know.
allowed.
Well, then on top of that, they all, I mean, not all, but the majority of them have some kind of.
Comorbidities. Absolutely.
Well, yes, yeah.
Pneumonia.
I don't know what that is, but I'm assuming it's,
comorbidities is like you had diabetes, you have congestive heart failure, you have all you have
existing.
exactly you have all
Right.
these pre-existing conditions, and then you get slapped with this thing that causes fluid to build in your lungs. You're finished.
Yeah,
Like
you have no chance. Yeah.
your immune system was already compromised to begin with, and now it was a death sentence. But even if you take that number, now we're down to 100,000. Now take that 100,000 and think about how many of that 100,000 were just blatant bullshit deaths.
Yeah.
A kid drowning, a car accident, and then
It's all going to come out in the end. I
hope
feel
so.
it will. I think there's a reason why Trump took all that info from the
CDC.
I think it's all that's why he did it. I think it's all going to come out in the end. Probably not till after the year's over when everything settles down.
And you know what? Just real quick, what was sad is as soon as Trump takes over the CDC, Florida overreported by 81%
I saw that.
positive cases. And then, when someone asked them with authority, like, what do you mean you overreported by 81%? They're just kind of like, my bad. Like, it was a mistake.
Right.
Yeah, one is a mistake.
I'm
It's like, no, dude, that's a big freaking mistake.
yeah, like,
Someone needs to lose their
how
job.
is someone not paying for this fear mongering? Like, I'm
Like I
so
said,
sick of it.
with the nursing home deaths, these 5 governors, and you mentioned Cuomo, he's the only one I've heard so far that there's any investigation. I know people here in Pennsylvania are furious, and I haven't seen any movement from anything. But that's not to say nothing's going on.
Right.
But I'd still like to see, like, hey, there's investigating going on against
absolutely.
Wolf and the Michigan governor, Jersey governor. I
Yeah.
can't remember their names. Murphy, I think, for Jersey, and the other one.
But what's
thing-
oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ben.
Well, it's just the thing is, though, is even I know up here in New York, if an elderly person was taken out of the nursing home due to COVID or whatever and died in the hospital, they were not counted as a nursing home death.
Oh, man.
So the numbers up here are, I guarantee they're even higher than they're telling us.
Oh,
I think
plot
from my
thickens.
notes from the CDC, it said it's like 11,000 deaths, just nursing home deaths, and they're saying that it could be triple that.
The New York Post is
Is
saying
it the-
nearly 26,000 fatalities nationwide, nursing home deaths.
for nursing. Okay, so
But my thing is, okay, so the Democratic National Convention just ended. Thank God. It was a
That's
Jesus
a joke.
Christ. I never want to begin to
Glad I
talk
didn't
about
watch
that
it.
cringe show. But what really pissed me off, and I'm not even from New York, is Cuomo on there talking, literally bragging that he did
single.
the absolute best job. He thinks he did like the best response to COVID-19 in the country. He's so delusional. It's
What I
mind-blowing.
loved is towards the beginning of this when they were claiming that they didn't have enough PPE and respirators and shit like that.
Right.
He did a news conference in a warehouse with, I mean, like boxes of this shit behind him.
Yeah.
You know, like
It-
claiming that he doesn't have enough.
Then he called in the big ass like tanker looking Navy ship. The
Oh yeah, they didn't even use it.
the
And
big
never
Red
used
Cross
it.
ship, never used it, and like sent it back off. And I'm like, and you're bragging that you. Bro, like thousands of people died in your state. And not only that, people are fleeing your state as we speak at
Dude,
an
in
alarming
droves.
rate.
I don't know if you guys heard about this ship, and I don't know how true this is. I've talked to people online about it. That ship actually was there for human trafficking victims. There was reports that there were children being taken there to be
I
taken
did
care
hear
of. Did
something
you hear
about
that?
that.
I have to dig further. I may bring it up again, but I haven't really dug deep into that.
It wouldn't
It'd be-
surprise me.
Yeah, because people were talking about there was a picture of National Guard setting up cribs and stuff inside, and like, why would they do that for COVID victims?
Yeah.
It didn't make any sense.
True.
So to me, that tells me there's some truth to that. So,
Right.
but like I said, I'll dig more into that.
And you know, it's crazy. You just brought up kids, and I was explaining earlier how the narrative keeps changing, and so they go from deaths to cases, and then now there's this political fight between Dems and Republicans about getting school started. Trump obviously is like, we need to go to school. Fauci's like, I don't see why the kids can't go to school. And then it's like every time something gets going, I just feel like the Democrats want to throw a wrench in there, or the media takes over. And then if you notice in the last week or two, now all these kids are suddenly getting COVID, and their teachers are getting COVID, and college kids are getting COVID. I'm just like, how convenient that no kid in the history from January till like 2 weeks ago was COVID positive, and then all of a sudden, little Billy, who's eating his peanut butter and jelly sandwich at the table with his, I don't know, abusive stepfather. It's
right.
like,
When I see
you got
when I see
COVID,
stuff
boy.
when I see stuff like that, I kind of roll my eyes and go, really? Come on.
Yeah.
Real quick, just a disclaimer: we are all prior military. We do have 6 senses of humor.
Yes.
Yes. If you don't have a six, you might as well just turn it off now.
And we all have kids, so
this
we're
is
not.
probably the most serious we'll be in for.
Yeah, and we all have kids. I have
that
3. I don't know how many Ben has. 4. Ben's got 4.
Yep.
And,
He's got a baby factory over there,
And Lee's
he got 2 boys.
2 boys. So even if we talk about kids, like it's not like we don't have kids. Like we got kids. So
We'll save that for another day about kids and their craziness.
yeah, for sure.
Oh, I wanted to touch on this. This was very interesting to me. We were talking about deaths. This whole fear mongering thing is ridiculous, but people act like people never die. It sucks. It's part of life, unfortunately. But there's other things that more people die. For example, off the CDC website back, and this is their data from 2017. I'm not sure why they don't have anything for anything more recent. I'm guessing they're just still collecting data from all the recent years.
Possibly, yeah.
Heart disease was the #1 killer in 2017 with 647,457.
Damn.
That's a lot.
I'm not even that's from the per CDC. You can look up yourselves, people. There was something else in between that. I can't remember the name of it. I didn't write it down, but just accidents, car accidents, people falling off the roof, whatever, just accidents.
Stuck your penis in the
Right.
wrong glory hole.
169,000.
I mean, hey, it happens.
It's kind of hard to read my
I learned
numbers when
my
you're
lesson
talking
on
about
that one.
male genitalia, sir.
So I'm just saying, I had a few close calls, Lee. But continue. I'm sorry.
How can I follow up with that gem? I didn't get through the whole list because it was just too much. It's just something most people relate to. And the flu for 2017 and was 55,672. And they did say the average is anywhere between 40 and 60,000 deaths per year just from the flu. And that's with the vaccine.
Right.
So just to give you some food for thought there, people.
Yeah.
The vaccine.
And
Dude,
and
that's
don't
another
even get
one.
me started on vaccines. Like,
Yeah, we
Yeah,
gotta save
man.
that for another episode.
Yeah.
We can get another 2 hours talking about
basically
that.
like throwing a dart in the dark.
Yeah,
And like,
we-
I think it'll be this strain this year. Oh, we
Right?
were wrong.
Pretty much.
Everybody's
Pretty much.
dying.
Oh, speaking of that, this kind of goes along with what we're talking about with the COVID thing. And once again, I got to dig into it, but this is what I read and how true it is. they said that 70% of the people who have died worldwide have taken some sort of flu vaccine.
Hmm.
I thought that was very interesting.
That is
70%.
I didn't hear that one.
No,
Yeah, I didn't hear that one
I probably should look that up so I can and tell people where the source I got that from. I just remember reading it a few weeks ago, and I didn't remember to write it down where I got the source from.
Fact check. I'm
Yeah,
fact checking
fact
it. Strong.
I also heard it from another podcaster, and he was the one that kind of brought it to my attention. I thought it was bullcrap, so I had to go and look it up myself, and I did see it. I just
See,
remember
I'm not saying all vaccines are bad because obviously, you know, smallpox and all this other
Polio.
stuff, the Spanish flu.
Well, polio to me was one of the signs that vaccines actually work. I mean,
Absolutely, unless it's Bill Gates giving it to Africans.
Right.
oh, we just got censored.
Yeah. Fact check.
Sorry, your video is now
I'm gonna make that one of
monetized.
our little soundbite noises.
You don't have to say it,
fact
just
check.
do it.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's good.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, that was my little drum. I had the volume not too low, but yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, but now they're talking about like there actually being like penalties and stuff for people who don't get it, travel restrictions, and
Oh, I
you could
keep
lose your
hearing about
fucking
that.
job.
it's out of control, man.
Well, I just read
Dude.
Australia is they're forcing their
Right.
Yeah, certain I read certain states here have implemented like Colorado, New Jersey, and there was a few other I can't remember off the top of my head. I should have wrote it down.
That are requiring the flu.
the
vaccine?
mandatory shots. Yeah,
Yeah, it's no longer optional
well, that's like the
What?
biggest fear
For the flu or for COVID?
for the flu.
for the flu.
Yeah, they kiss my ass. No.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for kids. Like now kids and you know what? And they
Oh, to get into school, yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
that's always been a thing.
It's sad. I think overall, I think we can sum this whole COVID thing up. It's just sad. Like, you know, I talk to my daughter, you know, my daughter wants to do things and I'm like, baby, it's closed, you know?
Oh,
and
yeah.
she's like, oh, because of the imaginary virus. And I'm like,
And she's what, 7?
She's 7 years old, you know, like I didn't put that in her head. I don't know. Maybe she watched it on TikTok or something, but like,
Possibly.
you know, it's just these kids and, you know, now they got to wear masks in school and social distancing. And it's like, it's teaching kids to fear other humans. And
Right.
And I'm just
can
like,
you
yeah.
imagine? Can you imagine being a kindergartner or like a first grader? You know what I mean? Going in, all of a sudden, you know, you're meeting this person for the first time, you know, and I mean, dude, the smile is what makes them calm.
absolutely.
It's what allows them to feel welcome.
Yeah, it's all
Right.
psychological as well. It's
Right.
It really messes
You
with your
can't
mind.
read their face.
No.
Not just that, man, but if you sit there and tell a kid to you know what I mean, to keep it on all day and all that, dude, they're gonna be running around licking shit, spitting on stuff. Right?
absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Have you guys seen the pictures of not here, but I don't know where, but they had these little box glass around their desk, like they're in
Yeah.
a small cubicle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, what are they in prison?
Yeah.
What is this? Like,
yeah. This B block, nigga.
We're gonna have to edit that part out.
you need to get stepping.
No hate speech, people.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you're in the wrong part of the yard, homie. Come up off that grilled
This is
cheese.
my block, literally my blocks. It's my A blocks.
These are my Legos.
It's my Legos. Get off my blocks. We can keep that in there.
Yeah, I think it's just sad that just the overall tone. I mean, just ultimately overall sadness. You had all these older people who were not allowed visitors, who died with broken hearts. No one was there
Absolutely.
for them, you know, on their last breath. Nobody was there for any of them. You know, now kids are suffering. People, you know, who legit, like I have PTSD, you know, I get service related disability for having anxiety and stuff like that. That's why, like, I don't like wearing a mask. It freaks me out. Like,
Dude.
you got people who, you know, lost their jobs and you know, are stressing about paying their bills, and a lot of veterans, you know, have been killing themselves, and not just veterans, you know, civilians as well. I mean, like, we're not superior to, you know, civilians. It's just overall sadness, and I think it just needs to end soon.
Absolutely.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, I dread going to the store up here because, you know, New York is a very liberal state and
Yeah.
I don't wear a fucking mask.
Right.
I mean, dude, I've gotten spit at I had a dude stop in front of my car and just flip me off and call me a cocksucker and all this other stuff. And I mean, dude, oh yeah, man, I get horrible looks every single time I go to the store, man. Every single time.
I don't get that at all. I may get one guy kind of like give me like an eyeball and looks away. Maybe it's because I'm 6'4", 235.
Yeah, probably.
And I have this like pissed off look on my face all the time because I'm literally waiting for someone to say something to me.
Yeah,
right.
Because I know if someone says something, I'm gonna be on YouTube cursing out some old lady just trying to be nice.
And I think what I hate, maybe this started stemming from the military, but what I hate is inconsistency. Like, I can go to the Turkey Hill here for people who are listening who aren't from like this area. We have Turkey Hills, which might be like
it's like a 7-Eleven
or whatever. It's our little convenience store. But I can go to a Turkey Hill here by my house, not wear a mask. I know all the people when I walk in there. I'm like, yo, what up, Jim? What up, Rick? Big Jim, little Jim, Slim Jim. And grab my stuff and bounce. I don't wear a mask. But if I go 2 miles in any other direction and walk into Turkey Hill, you got like mask Nazis in there, like, sir, we won't serve you. And I'm like, why is this so inconsistent? Like,
yeah, I just don't give any place of business if they give me a hard time.
Yeah, that's basically just how my way of dealing with it. But the sad part is millions of other Americans won't do the same thing because what they don't realize is like we have the power. We have the power to make change. And
absolutely,
that's the sad part. Like if every American banded together and said, "Oh, you want to face mask, whatever, we're not buying there." And if you want to hurt somebody, you hurt their pockets. That
absolutely.
Is, absolutely. Once they see their sales dropping, they're gonna change their mind about that mask policy.
Well, that goes the same with businesses in any state, especially people here in PA or anywhere that's still closed. You just ignore their order because it's all it is, orders. Orders are just basically recommendations. They're not law unless they're passed by legislation.
Yes.
No, but this is how I figure it. Of course, I've been into a gas station or something like that. The guy's like, "You got a mask?" I say, "I got a medical condition." He says, "Well, I'll do your shopping for you." I'm like, "Hey, yeah, dude, like I'm going to give you my fucking card, man." I say, "No, dude, you're not getting my money and I'll go somewhere else."
Yeah,
pretty
plain
much.
And simple. But these people like attacking people for telling them to put a fucking mask on and stuff. It's like, dude, come on, man, have some self-control.
Right. It goes back to what I was saying about, Ben, did you hear about this story? Did you see the video of the older lady was spraying the guy in the face because he wasn't wearing a mask in the park?
I don't think so.
No, you didn't see that? Yeah, oh my God.
I'll see if I can
it's
find
the one
you saw that, didn't you?
Yeah, I saw that one and I saw the complete meltdown of like she looked like a teenager. They went to some park and they wanted to walk through the trail and there were people there with no mask just kind of sitting on the trail and she refused to pass until these people moved and she like had a total blowout, like screaming at the top of her
lungs. Was that the same video where the lady had like a tape measure and she was like, "Get away!" Like,
that was horrible.
No, I don't
Dude,
think
I
so.
was dying laughing. I'm like, this can't be real. This lady cannot be serious. Like having a tape measure in the middle of the trail, making sure people were 6 feet away.
No, I don't think this was like a young girl and her family, and the family was even restraining her. Like, it's okay, like let it go. And she's like, "No, this is what's problem. This is the problem with COVID and these people." I'm like, Jesus Christ. My question is, if all us non-mask wearers were in danger, shouldn't we all be dead by now? I mean, since January, I should be dead by now for sure because I don't wear
10 times over.
Yeah.
Well, again, I don't know the exact numbers of it or whatever, but from what I'm reading is that 90% of the masks that we have out there that people are using, the little tiny pieces of cloth, the fucking loincloth over their face. I mean, dude, the virus is so small, it goes right through them. Even the N95 mask.
Exactly.
I didn't think we were going to get into masks today. I thought I was going to be say that for another episode. And you kind of threw me off here. We kind of went off on off our rails here.
We can save masks for something else.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, I was going to bring up some studies that I read. The most recent one was they did in June. It was the American Association of Surgeons and Doctors, or whatever the order is. They did one for all types of masks, the cloth, the N95s, all the masks, and it broke it down how inefficient they are by percentage wise.
Right.
So I thought it was a pretty fair study, even though I think the best one they said was a fitted 95 N95 mask. And who gets a fitted N95 mask? Most doctors,
healthcare.
nurses? Yeah,
that's it.
I mean, that's it. I mean, they don't want to
But even theirs, I mean, it's not completely.
No, even they even said it's only 98%
Right.
effective,
Right.
which is better than nothing. But it's
Right.
it's, you're wearing your shirt over your face. That's not going to do.
I mean,
anything.
everybody sees the memes. They show someone who works with biohazard material, what kind of mask they wear. Somebody who does
our hazmat suits.
Yeah, asbestos remediation.
Yeah,
the
and
kind of
it's
suit
true.
they wear. But the most deadly virus in the world, you got to be tested to know whether you had it or not. I mean, that's a joke in and of itself. I mean, it's the most deadly virus ever.
I gotta say, it's probably almost an hour. We can close it. I just want to close it out with the latest video I saw before I came over here was this little 7-year-old boy with his mom. I guess they were just not protesting, but they were just showing their pro-Trump.
Right.
A little pro-Trump rally. Had a little sign saying, I don't know. I couldn't even tell what they were saying because these two women, these two pieces of shit, grab this kid's sign, rip it up in front of him, and then steal his hat.
Yeah.
And they run away with it.
Disgraceful.
Yeah. And the little boy's like pleading with him, hey, can you please give me back my hat? It's not mine. It's not really mine. And they're just running away. And you get a couple, good Samaritans kind of trying to get it back from him. And they're like, one girl's swinging at the other guy, one of the guys. And, he's got a lot of restraint because this woman take a swing at me. You just lost your credibility.
Hey, man. Hey, dude, self-defense, dude. It's 2020,
exactly.
Right? We're all equal.
Yeah.
It's just, I just they need to find out who those women are and they need to be
and they weren't
punished
even
some way.
What's crazy is they weren't even outside of the Biden thing protesting Biden. They were at a totally different
It looks
venue.
like they were at the mall or something.
Yeah, they were at a
Right. It looked like they were
venue.
outside a store just standing there.
And they were waiting at a restaurant to eat. And the people had left the Biden thing, apparently. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But that's what it looked like to me. And then they started the beef. And I'm just like, come on, man. There are a lot of people out there who hate Trump. A lot of people out there who hate Biden, But, I mean, it's, I don't know, man. Let it go, man. Let it go.
Dude, I'll be completely honest, man. I actually feel bad for Biden because.
I agree.
I mean, I don't think he's the one pulling the strings. I think somebody's pulling his strings.
Yeah.
That's pretty
and I mean, it's like, he's taken on Bernie's freaking rhetoric. He's adapted to Kamala Harris's rhetoric. And that's funny too. I mean, no more than, a few years ago, she hated him.
Yeah. She basically called him a racist at the Democratic.
Racist and basically a rapist.
Yeah.
I mean, she didn't say that, but she,
right.
And then when she was interviewed, saying, "Why were you so mean?" Oh, it's just a debate. I'm like, nah, that seemed like you were bashing him. So you debate there, girl.
So what are you saying now? Everything you just made up a bunch of crazy shit because it was a debate. Now you're losing all credibility. And
in her defense, every Democrat and even Republicans do that to each other. They'll bash each other during the primaries and we're friends now.
Yeah.
Come on.
That's my bestie.
Yeah, give me a break.
My bestie's running for president.
I gotta back her up.
Yeah.
All right, guys, this is going to be the end of our show here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it was a little rough in the beginning. This is just give us some time. It'll get better. We're still working out the kinks here. Please go on our Facebook fan page at Vets with Vendettas. And you can when we first post, it's going to be on our YouTube channel. I'm going to post it on my Facebook so you guys can go check it out. I'm going to post a link there. And Diggs is going to give you guys, all vets out there, he's going to give you some information. And go ahead, Diggs.
Yeah, so definitely, we are Vets with Vendettas. We're all vets. And one thing that is very saddening, but is a reality, is the number of vets that commit suicide because they don't get the help that they deserve. So I think I'll end every show by reminding all of our vet listeners a number to call in case you do feel that your life doesn't matter anymore, because trust me, brother or sister, it does. And there's help
even
out
if
there
you're not a vet.
Yeah, or
and you know somebody that's struggling.
Yeah. So once again, it's not just, military. There are answers, man. Your life matters. Sometimes it can be overwhelming, especially now more than ever.
Yeah.
With what's going on, that you don't feel like you have a voice anymore, or it's just hard to get the help that you need. But trust me, there are people out there who want you to live. We want you to live.
And that's why we're here.
And
help
we're here
maybe put a smile on your face.
Yeah, definitely.
Dude, I'd even like to do a, if people want to send in their comments or something, we can read them. type of thing.
Yeah, send your comments. If you have any issues and something you want us to talk about, if you just want to talk to us, just let us know on our Facebook page, DM, instant message us, and we can talk about it.
But but not once again. But the number for the vet suicide hotline, or the Veterans Crisis Line, is 1-800-273-8255, and press number 1. Please do it if you're feeling any doubt that that you're going to take your life. We definitely don't want that. We love you. We want to see you succeed, and it'll all pass. So that's all I got.
It can only get better.
Yeah,
we need our vets.
All right, Ben, we're gonna do something, and then every show we're gonna go and have like a reflection, and then what have you learned from this episode? Any final thoughts?
This might take me a quick second. I thought for quite a while that, not that I was the only person that was thinking like this, but just that, it's nice to be able to have the conversation, even just listening to you guys as well. It helps knowing that other people have the same opinions that I do about everything that's going on. It helps.
Yeah, absolutely. It's therapeutic.
That was great, Ben. So Diggs, what is your final thoughts of today?
I thought all in all, this went pretty smooth. I think we're well over an hour, and I don't even feel like we were talking. It feels like we were talking for like 20 minutes, but
yeah.
Like Lee said, we're definitely working some bugs out, so bear with us. I think at least we have the audio quality.
Yeah, we got the
great. So we'll edit this stuff and make it sound beautiful for you guys. Eventually, here maybe 1 or 2 episodes, we'll eventually get some video so you can see our beautiful faces, and that way you will be able to interact anymore. But all in all, I love this. I absolutely love this. I'm sitting in a space with my 2 buddies, and we're just talking, and it's great. And so pretty soon, when the show hopefully gains popularity, we can have people call in and just say you guys suck, or say you guys are doing a great job, or whatever. Any type of feedback is good, or how we can make the show better. We're totally open to whatever you guys suggest.
Any kind of feedback, constructive criticism is
and you don't have to be a vet. I mean, we're just vets. That's just kind of like how we got the name. We're all 3 vets.
That's our shtick.
Yeah. But anybody, it doesn't matter. Like, we love everybody. So, whatever you got, send it to us. Eventually, we'll probably have some merch, which will probably be
humans
pretty funny.
Is humans.
Yeah, and maybe we'll have some contests and stuff. But this is definitely fun, and I could see why people love doing podcasts, because this is actually a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what do you got, Lee?
Oh, you guys took a lot of my thunder here. I decided that we should do this because we all 3 of us, and I can confirm this, you guys will agree with me, that we feel like we need to do more than just argue with people on Facebook.
Right.
Get our word out there. And at least for me, it definitely helps me to vent to my buddy here, Diggy and Ben, versus telling my wife the same thing over and over. She stopped listening to me like months ago. She's like, and she's Ukrainian, by the way. She's like, whatever, baby, I don't care. You just that's very nice. You go eat your sandwich and go talk to Diggy. Okay,
I will eat my sandwich. Damn it.
And hopefully
I want another one.
Yeah. And hopefully this isn't just an outlet for 3 of us. This should be an outlet for everyone that's listening. We're going to try to make this as most interactive as possible. Try to get back to every comment, every message, every email. My goal is to help out vets, maybe have like a donation day or, something like that or USO. We want to get more involved and we want to do more because at least me, I've been treated pretty well since I've gotten in the military from civilians and other places in the USO when I was in. So I like to take care of them back. I like to give back.
Absolutely. That was definitely one of the allures, is just being able to do more than argue with some of these trolls on freaking Facebook.
Right. Yeah. It just feels like it's gotten nowhere, and it doesn't really make me feel any better.
No.
And hopefully this will reach more people, and maybe you'll hear something that's funny and informative at the same time. And that's the whole point of all this. And hopefully you guys enjoyed our show.
Later.